Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. Stop vaping, Christian. My name is Cody Leach. As always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
Don't vape, kids.
Don't vape; it's bad for you.
It's bad. It's bad. Plus, it's banned in San Francisco. I don't even know how many listeners we have in the Bay Area, but it's just banned in San Francisco.
Dude, thank you, London Breed, you dumb bitch. Just kidding. But seriously.
Was it London Breed?
I'm sure she had a lot to do with it. She's mayor of San Francisco.
I'm not even paying attention to local politics.
Super liberal. Like, it's my body, my choice. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for listening and subscribing, even though we're obviously a bunch of idiots. We do appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Dune, the new cinematic version, not the 1984 version. The new one by Denis Villeneuve, which you're going to hear me butcher his name the entire episode, so get ready for that.
Is he Brazilian?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it sounds like maybe his name is like...
Is it French?
It's like half French, half... Yeah, I don't know. He might be French.
I'll look it up.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We'll let you know when the spoilers are coming so you guys can prepare. But if you haven't seen it, go out and see it right now because it is magnificent. But thank you for liking up, subscribing, clicking all the buttons that whatever platform you enjoy us on asks you to. So subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff. Click the little bell on the old YouTubes. And you can also check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends and become a patron of ours and help support the show. We do appreciate all the support. Makes it a lot easier to do this show because podcasting ain't free.
Shit costs money.
Shit costs money. Rodecaster Pro costs money. MacBooks cost money. Microphones cost money. And the way we can keep doing that without, sending us to the poorhouse is by patrons like the ones who support this show. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Cody's about ready to sell his ass.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
I'll sell it if anyone's buying. Before we get into Dune, though, we always like to start the show with some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. What's your nerd confession?
I've been trying to binge watch horror movies because Halloween. It's still not Halloween for us. You guys already passed. So on Netflix, I watched a classic horror film.
I realized that our internet is down when I tried to Google that.
Oh, yeah, I got my cell phone. Classic horror story. I don't remember. It's on Netflix. It's an Italian horror film. It's not going to be for everyone.
Fucking Italian.
It's Italian. And I can't remember the 1970s Italian guy that did all those awesome, like, crappy slasher films. Sergio something? It doesn't matter. But it's definitely very meta. It tries to play on a bunch of genres and tries to flip things on its head, and then at the end it tries to reverse a bunch of stuff. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not going to be a classic. I don't think it's going to be one a lot of people are going to remember, and I think a lot of horror fans will maybe trash it. But I applaud the guy for trying to do something original, and you got to keep people got to keep trying. If people don't try and fail, you're not going to get any good stuff. You keep doing the same old thing, it gets boring. But it was a good try. I didn't hate it.
Solid
I didn't
attempt.
Love it was a good attempt. The beginning to the middle, I really liked. The ends, I can kind of take or leave. But I would say check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I just found out today Cody liked horror films. I thought he hated them.
No, I like horror films, but I don't like schlock. So I don't like your, Halloween, call it 2 through 13 or however many there are now. Same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. I like the first one's all right. They're old and dated. It's fine. But like they went for it. Like they were an independent movie that tried to make the best movie they could. After that, it was just cash grabs. So they just they got worse and worse and worse.
I don't know, man. There's something about like 80s, like limited, practical effects. So people had to get creative that I just fucking love. And, sometimes it's great. And sometimes it's really bad. And sometimes it's so bad that it's good, like Evil Dead. Like it's...
Well, like the thing with a movie like Evil Dead is you can tell that Sam Raimi and his friends who were involved in making it, they set out to make the best movie they could.
With limited cash.
It's limited cash, but they were into the movie and they really wanted to make it, right? if you look at a movie like, call it like the Toxic Avenger, right? That's a popular.
That's a fucking classic. All right.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. Those guys, they didn't set out to make the best movie they could. They would set out to make a funny bad movie. That was the intention to the movie.
I would challenge that because I believe the Troma films, they loved movies. They loved the kind of movies that they love.
Bad movies.
Sure. Like good, bad movies. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but I know we talked about privately how I said Hocus Pocus is a good, bad movie. And I got so much shit about it.
It's not.
It is. It's a good, bad movie.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's a fucking Disney Channel, or I guess, was it a Disney Channel movie or is it a Disney movie?
It was a Disney movie that definitely came out in theaters, which was what I argue makes it a bad movie because it did not do well. It had a cult following after.
No. Bad movies are movies that are made by, like, shitty studios with no passion or any sort of, like...
So Canon Films.
Yeah, Canon Films. Yeah.
See, but Canon...
All of those are terrible movies, except for, like...
Bloodsport's
fine. But,
Death Wish.
There's some bad stuff in it. Death Wish, I mean, you know, it was okay. Like, even a broke clock's right twice a day.
And that's exactly... See, like the Canon guys, what they did is what I call the machine gun method. So you have a target, right?
Right.
You're just going to spray and pray. You're going to empty the magazine. You're going to hit a couple, 1, 2, 3 bullseyes.
Exactly.
And that's what they did. They just fucking did a bunch of movies, and every now and then they had one that was profitable that made up for all the money they lost in the shit ones.
I guess I just prefer a sniper like Denis Villeneuve, who every fucking movie comes out is a fucking cinematic masterpiece.
Which I was partially right. French-Canadian. So.
French-Canadian, all right.
From Quebec.
Yeah, I'm okay with horror movies. Like, I'm down. We talked a little bit about before the show started Midnight Mass, which is not a movie; it's a show on Netflix.
We'll get into it,
which we'll talk a little bit about, and we'll try not to spoil the big twist on it. We'll just do let's do it right now. Midnight Mass. It's a 7-episode special,
7 or
series,
9,
something like that.
7 or
It's
9.
one of those shorter, Netflix shows. I thought it was an excellent movie. Came out of nowhere. Like, it actually took me a couple weeks to watch it. Like, I was like, I should put this on my list and I'll come back to it. And once I did, I binged through it really quickly.
It was an amazing slow burn. It was really, really good. It just hints little by little in each episode, gives you a little bit, and it's enough where you want to watch more. But it's very character driven, and all the acting was great. I can't think of the actor's name who played the priest, but he was awesome.
Yeah, and he's been in a bunch of stuff before.
He was in the Stephen King.
The Outsider, maybe?
No. He was the scientist and... Good versus Evil. Oh my God, why am I blanking?
The Stand?
The Stand, yes, in the remake of The Stand.
He was in that newer one?
Yes, he was the doctor, the only good doctor that was on Stu's side.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was like, they made his character, if he's the same character from the book, they made him a way better person in the show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit in the book.
Yeah, but in this show, anytime he's giving a speech, like, you kind of believe, like, when he's preaching, you're like, dude, this guy's acting his fucking ass off. Like, I really feel like, he believes what he's preaching. Even I don't want to say the main character. All the other characters were also very believable, very great. It was a great show.
It was one of those things too where, like, the thing that was so cool about it was, like, for the first half of the show, I was convinced that one thing was happening, and then for the second half, I'm like, oh fuck, I was completely wrong. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And like, without ruining anything for you guys, because everyone should go out and watch it, and there is kind of a twist in the back half of the show. It's like a small fishing island town. Like, it's a town off the coast. You have to take a ferry to and from the mainland.
I'm guessing it was East Coast. I thought, like, maybe off of Maine or something.
Yeah, it seemed like, New England style.
No one had any of the accents, but
yeah, exactly. But all the houses are kind of like, old, windswept, salt air, paint peeling off of them and stuff. And then this new preacher, Monsignor, comes to town.
Monsignor is a title.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you meant like that was his name, Monsignor.
No, he was. I couldn't remember like what his title was: preacher, or priest, or monsignor.
Well, they were Catholics. He'd be a priest. It just
doesn't matter. Religion's fake. Anyway,
Monsignor is just kind of like a fancy title you would
like
give someone you respect.
He's like a deputy priest.
Sure.
So he comes to town, and then strange things start happening, and it's how the townsfolk kind of react to it. Yeah, crazy shit goes down. Like the last like 2-3 episodes, you're like, oh fuck.
Did you read any reviews about it?
No.
So
I didn't need to because they were it was a fucking awesome show.
It was an awesome show, and I was just curious of reading like what these professional reviewers said. And a lot of people had issues like, oh, it was too wordy. There's too many monologues. I'm like, so what? Like they were great monologues.
Yeah.
They gave a lot of information on the characters.
I will say, like I do slightly agree with that. There were some scenes that went on a little too long, but for me, like in a show like that, like you need a little bit of that. You need a little bit of expository of why these people are acting the way they're acting, because again, going back to like the bad horror movie like genre, if you will. One thing that always bothers me is when people make crazy decisions or do crazy actions without any explanation.
Yeah.
Like, we'll use the Evil Dead for instance, right? I forget, must have been like Evil Dead 2 or something like that, where his hand gets chopped off and then he instantly knows how to put it into the chainsaw. Like, now, don't get me wrong, like Bruce Campbell's amazing and I love it, but like how would this guy know how to do that? You know what I mean? This one, because these people end up talking a lot, you get to see the relationships between each other. Some of them strained, some of them reforging and that sort of thing. And that way, when the cascade of like events start unfolding in the town, it's that much more impactful. So I enjoyed it, but I can see that argument for sure. There was a couple scenes where I'm kind of zoned out while people were like, talking about like faith and how important it is. I'm just like, I don't care.
One of the reviews I read, and it really pissed me off, and they said it was the best Stephen King story that Stephen King never wrote.
I could see that.
And I was like, dude,
it had some serious Salem's Lot vibes for sure.
It's just, to me, it's like, all right, this is why I hate certain like film show reviewers. It's like, you guys are just trying to find fancy ways to put people down. Like that was a 2-for-1. Like, yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, dude, just give an honest review. No one cares about how fucking quote unquote smart you sound. It's right. just give an honest review. Like the person who said, "Oh, some parts were wordy, but other than that, it was great." That's a great review. Yeah, that's a nice critique.
That's what I would say about it. Like I think realistically, it would have been a much more like effective show maybe if it was like maybe 1 or 2 episodes shorter. And they just cut out a little bit of that dialogue that went on for too much, or some of the stuff where people are just like staring at each other, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, I still really enjoyed it. I thought I wanted to go from every episode to another one to the next one, and by the end, I was just like, "Fuck!" That was an exhausting experience. I was so stressed out.
But I want to give a shout out to Samantha Sloyan. She was like the lady who was always kissing the priest's ass. Like she played a great,
what a bitch,
fucking villain.
Yeah, she was the best for sure.
Like she was so good. Like you hated her right away. Like that's how 100%. Good. Before even like things start happening, you're like, yo, fuck that lady. Like who the fuck does she think she is?
Here's a fun little factoid for you, Christian. Annabelle Gish, who plays the doctor.
Okay,
remember her?
Yes.
So she's in this show, and then the guy who has the DUI accident, I forget what his name was in the show. Riley. So in Riley's room back at his parents' house, he has an X-Files poster.
Okay.
Annabelle Gish was in the X-Files. She replaced Agent Scully in the last season.
What?
Where Mulder and Scully were not in the X-Files. It was her and Robert. I forget what his last name is. The guy who played T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
Those two were like the new up-and-coming agents. And like Mulder would come in every once in a while and be like, hey, you're doing it wrong. And she was in it too. So it was kind of interesting that she is in a world where X-Files exists, but no one realizes that there's someone in the X-Files that looks just like her.
That was a deep cut.
I know, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I need to rewatch X-Files.
Dude, so good. I love the X-Files. One thing that's crazy, though, is there's a lot of Monster of the Week episodes, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing. But like one of the things I really liked about the X-Files was every once in a while you get the episode where it's like where the serialized canonical like story of the X-Files kicks up, like the smoking man and the well-manicured man. Yeah. So cool.
I remember the first movie was really good. At least I really enjoyed the first movie.
First movie was really good. I like the season, the like one season, sequel season that they did just recently.
I haven't watched it because I want to rewatch all the originals before I do that.
Yes, indeed.
Or the second movie. I haven't watched the second one either.
Second movie was not great. It's fine. It's fine. I'll watch everything X-Files, but not great. Since we got a little off track, we thought we'd share Midnight Mass for you guys because it was quite good. I'll do my nerdy confession real quick. I just played and beat the new Guardians of the Galaxy game for PlayStation 4 and 5, made by Eidos Montreal, a Square Enix company, and it was fucking fantastic.
Which I was shocked.
Yeah, I had very low hopes for another like Square Enix Marvel game, but this one like blew past all expectations.
Was there a dancing baby Groot?
There was not, but there was references to it. So here's one thing that was so cool about this game. Voice acting was tremendous. Every single character nailed it. Like, Star-Lord, Groot, Groot not having any words, he did a good job of like conveying what his meaning and stuff. Oh, I am Groot, it's all that kind of stuff. The guy who played Rocket, Gamora, Drax, like they were all fantastic. And then every other character that you meet throughout the story is great. And so much of that game really relies on that to make everything believable and fun. The gameplay was fun. So it's a one-player game. There's no multiplayer. You're playing as Star-Lord, but as you're in combat, you can command the other Guardians to do special abilities, and they fight alongside you the whole time.
So I'm assuming it's not a replay, not so much replay value, I'm guessing.
So there is a little bit if you're into like collectible type stuff, because as you go through it, you'll find different outfits for the Guardians that reference other comic book storylines and things like that. So like one of the ones I found was like the 2014 movie Star-Lord.
Okay.
So I found that, and then I found.
Does Drax get his cape?
That is one of them. I have not found that one yet. I got one where it was the Guardians of the Apocalypse when they became like the 5 horsemen of the apocalypse, and so they have like glowing red eyes and stuff, and they're all evil looking. I found a couple of those. There's the one where Rocket is wearing fucking a business suit and sunglasses like he's a bank robber. It's fucking tight. So it's really, really fun. And I was really surprised by how many stories they pulled from the comics. I don't like how much do you not want to know about like cameos and stuff like that?
I don't care. I mean, not for me. I don't know about the listeners, but
okay. So light spoilers here. If you really want to be surprised, but here I'll just list the cameos. I won't hint at the story at all. Okay. We got Wendigo.
Okay.
We got
space.
Yep. We got Cosmo.
Okay.
The cosmonaut space dog. The collectors in it. There was Throg, Frog of Thunder, who like he didn't have any lines. He was just in the collector's collection. Adam Warlock.
Okay.
Nova.
All right.
Lots of other people related to all of those characters. Mantis is in it. Mm-hmm. There's you see pictures of Yondu in the background and stuff. Like it just goes on and on and on. And then there was like original characters for this game too, who are all equally as good. And it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it.
No Howard the Duck. Yeah.
You know what? Unless I missed him somewhere, there was no Howard the Duck. But there was a lot of other great characters. There's a little Thanos in there. Ooh yeah. And there's references to like the Watcher. There's Fing Fang Foom.
He's in it.
Hell yeah.
Does it have the humanoid dragon face with the?
That's just a dragon face. It's just a dragon.
Do you have the weird mustache? And...
So one thing they do, because like Drax is building him up the whole time. This is minor spoilers, I guess, for why you fight him. But Drax is like, we must go fight Fing Fang Foom. He is the most worthy opponent in all of the galaxy. And Rocket's like, yeah, I heard he wears like purple shorts. And Star-Lord's like, what? It's like, yeah, purple shorts. And Drax is like, yes, the legends do speak of such things. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's hilarious. It's so funny. Music is awesome in it. And one thing I really enjoy in video games nowadays is when they play with your, like, the expectations of what a video game is. Like, they play with things like the mechanics and things like that. Like, I love when a game, like, you're supposed to fail at a certain point because that's what the story's asking you to do.
Right. I hate that, but yeah.
Well, that's an example. I don't really care for that because if you don't figure that out and you're just trying to do it for a long time, it fucking sucks.
Like, that fucked me in the beginning of
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to die. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to avenge everyone in my clan who died.
Right, exactly. But they play with the game mechanics a lot that way. And then there's this mechanic called Huddle Up, where like once you've built up enough like momentum in a battle, you can call a huddle and all the Guardians come towards you, and they say like, "Oh man, these guys are kicking our asses out there." And Star-Lord, you have to give like a motivational speech based off of what they're saying, and if you do that, then he plays music on his Walkman, so music comes on in the battle, and it's like like flock of seagulls, I ran so far away or something, And then you have like unlimited special moves for a while. It's really, really fun, man. You got to check it out. PlayStation 4 and 5, definitely worth the money. I'm excited. Like, I just beat it and I'm already excited to go back and find more costumes and go to places where I think if you go back to other places or you do the what do you call it? New Game Plus, where you have like all of your unlocks, I think you can get to more areas because you have all these powers.
They really should have done it like at least after you beat the game, that you can do multiplayer and like someone can play one of the other characters. Like, I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but here's exactly why they didn't do that. From my limited knowledge of game design, all of the controls and movement and stuff for Star-Lord is based around shooting and punching. That's completely different from Drax and completely different from Gamora and completely different from like Groot and
at least Rocket.
So to build that in to allow two people to do it, it would be I think a very big ask. But you're right. I think it would be fun, like if you could do like up to a 5-player multiplayer. But I don't know if they would ever do that. But it was a really fun game. I really enjoyed it. Check it out. All right, guys, we're gonna take a brief little break with a word from our sponsors, or whoever sponsors this episode. When we come back, we're gonna be talking about the new movie Dune. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Dune. And before we get into spoilers, let's just give our spoiler-free opinion of it. Right?
Okay.
So, should people go watch it?
For sure.
100%. Like, it's by far the best movie this year. Right?
I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Trying to think. Black Widow's another big one. 007.
Didn't watch it.
Yes, this one's better for sure.
What I'll say is the cinematography was amazing. The costumes are great. The color scheme,
the whole world of Arakis, all the worlds, even the Harkonnen planet and the Atreides planet, are all expertly done. And like just the technology. I think Denis Villeneuve does a really good job of like really interesting, non-generic sci-fi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it was great. The color schemes are great. Even the dialogue, which like the first one was really bad. It was like one of my biggest complaints. of the '80s one. Like it was
My
definitely
name is a killing word. The spice must flow.
yeah. It was weird.
We got Benny Jesuit.
But that being said, I feel like a lot of the themes and beats almost were followed from the original movie, but just better. Like
Yes.
obviously a lot better.
100%.
Yeah, I mean we're not going to spoilers yet, but yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Definitely worth a watch. And I'd say worth a watch if you're comfortable in the theater. And like I'm talking like big format, like IMAX, Dolby Cinema, that sort of thing. Me and my buddy Alex went to see it in the Dolby Theater, which has HDR projectors and Atmos speakers, which are speakers above you too. And it melted my face off.
HBO Max was good. That's how I watched it. It was great. I mean, I'm sure it's still better in theaters,
Sure.
but I enjoyed it at home.
Sure. I'd say you lose some of the impact if you're watching it on a laptop screen without headphones. If you're watching through shitty speakers, and if you're doing that, jump off a bridge, please. I'm just kidding. I just think that like movies need to be watched with at least good sound. So definitely worth a watch. All right.
No pugs. I was upset. Spoiler.
No pugs. Yeah.
I really wanted to see Sir Patrick Stewart run into battle with a pug.
If you follow us on his Instagram, I fixed that for us.
Yeah.
I made a post that has a
fucking
bunch
hilarious.
of pugs in there. So check it out. All right. That's our spoiler-free review. Now it's time to get into some spoilers for this movie based off a book from like the 70s and a movie that was already made in the 80s. So we are spoiling like a 40-year-old movie book, 50-year-old book combo. So spoilers. All righty, Christian. So let's get down into it. For those of you who don't know what Dune is, I mean, I guess we could have done this in the non-spoiler form, but it's essentially the House Atreides.
We got to give time frame. This happens in the year like 10,000 something.
Yeah, exactly. It's 10,000 something. Right before, about 30,000 years before Warhammer 40K happens. But it's funny because, watching this, and like I've read the book as well and seen the original 84 movie. It's funny how much of Warhammer 40K is influenced by it. Just like I think I mentioned last week's episode, I'm watching that Foundation movie, which also has like the idea of like an emperor of the universe and like these warring houses that are, have their own planets that they live on and stuff like that. And then needing specific people to help you travel like hyperspace,
Which is the spice.
The spice. The navigators need the spice to travel through the warp or whatever.
So maybe we should give an explanation of spice.
Yeah. So the whole thing with Dune and like, I feel like it did an okay job. Like,
I'm assuming there's going to be a bigger explanation in part 2.
Right. I'm sure I think this movie, first of all, it's 2.5 hours long. I feel like it does a very good job explaining a lot of very dense ideas. In the book, by Frank Herbert, which came out, you might look that up. I want to say it's like early 70s, maybe late 60s. But in that book, there's a lot of like, inner dialogue, talking and background history.
1965.
65. Okay, even earlier. There's a lot of like discussion about what the spice is, who the Bene Gesserit are, the House Atreides, the House Harkonnen, the Emperor of the Universe. Like there's a lot of like exposition in the book. And it's hard to translate that and some of these lofty ideas into a movie, and I thought they did a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, even like when I saw the first movie, I was completely lost. I was just enjoying it for what it was.
Right.
But in this one, I didn't feel lost. Okay, they're giving the like little information as you need it.
Right.
So it's not just kind of like thrown out of nowhere.
Exactly. So the spice must flow, obviously. Spice melange, they call it, is this substance that is only found on this planet called Arakis, also known colloquially as Dune, the planet Dune. That's where the title comes from. And it's this orange like powder that you can see blowing across the sand at certain times of day and stuff.
Which I couldn't tell the difference between regular sand and spice.
Yeah.
It looks.
They added like orange brown glitter to it. So there's one house that that kind of runs this planet is the steward of Arakis, and they harvest this substance. Now, the substance is really important because it does a lot of crazy things to humans. It gives them longer life, better health.
Yeah, stronger vitality.
It increases like psychic ability, or cognitive ability, say, and because of that, it can actually affect someone so much that it allows them to navigate through like warp space to allow interstellar travel.
I just noticed one thing that was missing from the original movie: the weird ass space worm or brain thingy that was in the beginning.
The Navigator, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in this movie.
So they mention it in this one that that's part of the Navigation Guild or whatever they're called.
And actually, I just remember it looked disgusting in the original, but I can't remember what it looked like. Maybe I should look it up.
It looks like a ball sack with a couple eyeballs on it and a brain with little like T-Rexy arm fingers. So basically those are people who are basically mutated by spice to have such psychic ability that they can navigate through subspace or
shit. You were right. It does look like a ball sack with little arms
or whatever they call it in the Dune universe. So obviously if for some reason spice production were to wane or whatever, that interstellar travel would be impossible. It would take hundreds of years and stuff to go from planet to planet. So it's very important, and so essentially there was this family called the Harkonnens who were in charge of Arakis, and they made like billions of space units or whatever the fuck they're called, and the Emperor of the Universe basically said, no, I'm taking this away from you and I'm giving it to your mortal enemies, the Atreides, because he was afraid of the Atreides who were gaining power and leadership amongst the other like noble houses and stuff. So they specifically started shit between these two families because they knew it would piss off the Harkonnens and start like a little civil war kind of thing.
Which the one you mentioned, with the one who's the main characters, they seem much more chill.
Atreides. Yeah, they're kind of like...
They don't want to slave the Fremens, is that what they call them? Fremens. They more wanted to work with them. Like, hey, let's be pals. Let's be friends.
Yeah, the Atreides are they're painted as your classic protagonist good guys. They're all about like honor and integrity and, kind of like Knights of the Round Table type stuff. There's Duke Leto Atreides, who is... the head of the house, and then Paul Atreides, who is the main character of the...
That was Oscar Isaac, right? That was the dad, Leto,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And his son, Paul, and then his consort, Jessica, who is one of the Bene Gesserits.
I read someone said that, like, in order for Oscar Isaac to look more attractive is why they had... Jason Momoa shaved his beard and had Oscar Isaac just grow out his,
nice.
So that he looked more attractive. And I will say, Jason Momoa, I did not like him without his beard. It looked fucking weird.
Yeah,
I didn't like seeing his chin.
He's got a weird baby face.
Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely weird. It did make him look more baby.
Look at me, man. Like, there's a reason why I have a beard.
Because you'll look like Jason Momoa if you shave it.
I'll look exactly like it. You shave it off, and there's a six-pack under here.
Yeah, and then you get darker. You
can't do that. Can't handle all the attention from the ladies.
Nice tan, and you get a scar in your eye.
Yeah. A little scarred eyebrow, fucking tribal tats. Yeah, I thought that was funny. But let's talk a little bit about the cast because it is a huge cast. We have Oscar Isaac, who plays Leto Atreides.
Timothy
Chalamet, who plays Paul Atreides.
This is my first movie I've seen with him. Like I've heard him, I've seen his face places. And I knew nothing about him. I was like, all right, he's a good actor. I was like, all right, I like him. Like he was great in the part.
Yeah, I don't know what else he's been in, but he did a good job. Jason Momoa plays Duncan Idaho, who's kind of like the the super warrior guy, cowboy dude of the Atreides army. Josh Brolin plays Gurney Hallett, who he's kind of like the grizzled old like war veteran dude.
So was Jason Momoa playing the Sir Patrick Stewart character?
No, that's Josh Brolin.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Duncan Idaho in the first movie is like a nobody. He's like he's got blonde hair and he's barely in it at all. and he's like they gave Jason Momoa much more to do than what happens in the book. Like they gave him a sick ass like fight scene and stuff like that.
See, I thought that was the Sir Patrick Stewart part, and with spoilers where we already said it. So when he died in battle, with that dope ass fight scene, I was like, oh, we're definitely not getting him running into battle with a pug now. But all right, now that I know,
Josh Brolin could still bring out the pug.
All right, I'm down.
It could still happen. And then what's the name of the Lady Jessica or whatever her name is?
Oh, she was the
Paul's
concubine.
Mother? Yeah,
Lady Jessica also had their last name, which is weird. Maybe she was the wife. Why was
no, that's like a big part of it is that they never married.
She has their last name. That makes it weird.
IMDb is wrong. What's the actress's name?
Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson. She's excellent as
she was Rose Hatter, right? In Doctor
Sleep.
Yeah,
maybe.
I believe so.
Sounds right. But she was awesome. And then
I was right.
And what did you think about the Bene Gesserits? Like the whole put your hand in the
box. They were definitely much more menacing and cooler in this movie than in the first one.
Right. I think they did a better job explaining what the voice does and at least kind of explaining that ritual that they went through.
Like in the first one, they just made them seem kind of like weird witches, and in this one, it seemed more neutral. Like we're neither on either side. We just want to make sure that their abilities continues. Like as long as they're religious, or I guess you want to call it religion, cult, whatever it is, we want that line to continue. We don't really care, whose side what's on.
And then there's like a prophecy of the chosen. They're traditionally all women,
right?
And there's a prophecy of a chosen male, Bene Gesserit, which,
from what I read,
spoiler alert for the whole series, it's Paul.
From what I read, it was supposed to be Jessica was supposed to have a daughter, and then the daughter's son was supposed to be that one.
Yeah,
at least that's kind of what I read.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, so there. Well, Jessica was only supposed to have daughters, but she had one anyway. Like that's a big tenet of the Bene Gesserits is that they're only supposed to have daughters to continue their line. So that's
why they didn't want a man, because they knew the man was going to do a better job.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't write it. That's a 1965 book. I just saw it for what it was.
They're going to come in. Man's going to come in and be like, "Look, you guys have been doing this thing wrong the whole time. I'm going to make some changes around here."
The power comes from my balls. That's what you guys were missing.
Oh, fucking does his crazy voice.
The sonic boom, from the original movie, didn't it come from the hips? He was just thrusting it from his balls.
That's one thing that's crazy about, if you've seen the original Dune movie, the sound gun is not in the book, and hopefully it won't be in part 2.
I hope not.
Movie. Yeah.
Because I remember when I watched the movie,
stupid.
when you made me watch it, I'm like, dude, they have a sound gun? What the fuck is that?
Oh.
That was so bad. That part was so bad in the movie.
It was stupid.
And I'm glad they fixed the...
Fucking David Lynch just came up with that.
I'm glad they fixed the Roblox shields that they did in the original movie.
Right. I thought that was done very well in this. And the knives they used were really long knives. They're like Tontos or whatever. Made it much more believable. I will say, the one issue I had with it was when Jason Momoa has his fight scene. So the whole point of these shields and knives that they use is the shields will stop anything moving fast, right? So bullets, arrows, swords being flashed, darts, that sort of thing. But what they won't do is they won't stop something moving slow. So you can still reach in and grab someone, shake their hand or whatever through the shield.
The sword still got through.
So the whole point, they're doing this fight scene, you're supposed to go in fast and then slow down and then slit their throat really slowly. And Momoa does that in several occasions. But then in his big badass fight scene, he's just fucking slashing heads left and right. I'm like, that wouldn't work. They all have shields on. So that was kind of weird. But I thought the overall effect was very good. All the spaceships looked amazing.
The costumes on the priest in the beginning part was amazing. It had a Catholic priest feel, but it had awesome space domes on it. All that stuff. All the costumes were amazing.
Yeah, so I think those guys are part of the Navigators Guild, and I think spice is being pumped in there. I think that's part of it. They're just getting spice shot into their face constantly. I bet their eyes are probably really dry.
It's like space cocaine.
They're just rolling in space coke.
They're just taking bumps the whole time.
Woohoo! That way!
That's why they can navigate through space so fast. They're all just pumped up.
Yeah, just go take a left here. Right now. Yeah, I think it was excellent. Very well done. I thought each of the planets that they showed. So they showed the Harkonnen planet. They showed the planet from House Atreides, which I forget their names, and then they showed Arrakis. Each planet had a very different feel to it, and each planet, like the buildings and architecture, all looked different, and it was really, really cool. I thought it all looked amazing. The cinematography, like you said, was amazing, and like we knew from, I think he did Arrival also, right?
Yes,
Arrival and 2040, Blade Runner 2049. We already knew that like his set designs and special effects were going to be great. But
yeah, even that being said, it still looked fucking amazing.
It was still,
I was trying to look up the little general guy's name, but I thought he was adorable.
Oh yeah, yeah, the human computer dude.
Was he? No. The
dude where he's like, how much did it cost him to get here? It's like 4,274.
Is that he was the good guy, right? He was
he was the rotund gentleman.
Yes, yeah. I loved him.
Yeah,
he looked like a giant baby. Like I just want to give him like a hug. Like he was adorable.
Yeah, like he to me he sounds like he could be like what's his name? James Earl Jones's like cousin or something. Didn't get the cool voice, but same general look and appearance. So his whole point, the point of him is, they don't mention this in the movies, but in the books, like there aren't computers like there are today, because it was the fucking 60s. No one knew what a fucking computer was, but they realized that you need like complex computations to space travel and run multi-planetary empires and stuff. So basically they're humans who have been modified so that they're basically human computers.
I thought they were just gonna do abacuses, like
he just shoots his eyes up into his head and just does it in his brain. He's like one of those guys who just like does math for fun.
One of those savants.
Yeah, that's like his whole deal. Knight to King 5 or knight to E5. Yeah, see, I don't even know about chess. I did that joke wrong. I don't even know if there is an E, but there's definitely not a King 5. That's fucking stupid.
I was shocked because how much they had billed, what's her name? Zendaya, that she was like barely in the movie.
Right. She's going to play a big part. She plays, what's her name? Chani. She's going to be a big part of the second one, for sure, which did officially get greenlit, which is crazy that they set out to make Dune Part 1 and did not already have the green light for Dune Part 2.
Which is crazy to me. Like, dude, those young actors are going to look so much older by the second one comes out. Like,
yeah,
it's going to take a couple of years. Like, I thought it was going to be like, what was it, like Harry Potter, where they did like boom 1 and 2 like right away or something.
Or like Lord of the Rings, where they filmed all three of them back to back.
Yeah, but no, it fucking sucks that we have to wait this long for the next one.
Yeah,
and I know now the director says like, well, why do we stop at 2? Why don't we just do it at 3? Which I'm cool with, if it's going to give more story in between.
Also, there's not just one Dune book. There's multiple Dune books. So, and Frank Herbert's son, I think Brandon Herbert, I want to say his name, he's going to be writing like sequel books now that the movie is.
I thought I had seen too that they're going to do some prequel stuff about the witches.
Oh, the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a show about it. I'm not too sure.
That'd be cool. I'd be down. The only bummer part is, unless Denis Villeneuve is part of it, it's not going to look anywhere near as cool. But yeah, I'm excited. It was awesome. It far exceeded my expectations, and I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully it was one of those things where they kind of knew that they were going to do it already, so maybe there's a script already, and
they know the location.
They don't have to go through casting.
Yeah,
they know the locations. Hopefully they have some fucking sets already or whatever. Like maybe
they're growing the sandworms. That's why they need the time. They just
exactly.
Those things don't.
They're training them. They're hard to train.
They don't come out that big.
They don't like to. How'd you like to look at the sandworms?
That's kind of one of the things I'd say I was a little bit disappointed. The little like spiny teeth thing, like it looked almost like whale teeth, like it almost looked like hair. And I don't know. I got a lot of vibes from the original, which I was hoping they would do something more unique or different, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong.
Yeah, I mean, one thing they, because of modern special effects, they looked way bigger, and like the way they travel through sand and stuff seemed much more menacing. But yeah, I don't know. I like the teeth all right. They were kind of cool. I can't wait till we see one like fucking tearing up the city and stuff like that, because that's got to be coming soon.
Seeing Paul just riding one, like
yeah, fucking shooting a sound gun. Oh.
I just remember the most awkward part was him training them to do it. Like that was just fucking weird.
Then like they start. I forget what his crazy Fremen like Messiah name is. Muad'Dib, I think that's what it is.
I think so.
And he's like, my name is a killing word, Muad'Dib, and they're using it to like blast people. I'm like, fuck. Who do you think they're gonna get to play Sting's character from the original movie?
I thought that was supposed to be Drax.
Nope,
it's not.
No, he's the other. There was two Harkonnen like nephews or whatever.
I thought it was him. I was like, they went a different body image. Like,
no, because in the original movie there's big brutish one, which it has to be Dave Bautista, and then there's the small skinny assassin dude one.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that I guess now I think it's weird that he wasn't in it, but I don't know.
Yeah, because he has to fight Paul eventually, and Paul has to bust out the weirding way. The fucking super Bene Gesserit martial arts.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of someone right now.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about who I would want to cast, but
yeah,
just get Sting again. Fuck
yeah.
it.
Yeah, Sting's. What's Sting doing? He's probably fine.
It's fine. He was in great shape in that movie.
Yeah, he's all like oiled up and fucking like doing his weird flexing moves with his already then receding hairline. I love it. So what do you want from the second movie? Like now that we've seen the first one, what improvements could they make? What kind of things do you want to see happen?
So I mean, at least training for Paul. I mean, because if it's gonna follow like the other movie, I mean, they showed a little bit of the training with what's his name?
Gurney.
Thanos.
Yep, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Like I guess to see more training because he's eventually supposed to be an amazing fighter. And I mean, we kind of saw a glimpse of it at the death match with the other guy, which I was shocked that he killed because it kind of seemed in his visions that this guy was going to teach him the ways of the Fremen.
Yep.
But he fucking murdered the guy, so I don't know.
Guess not.
Yeah, I guess not. More, I guess, sandworm training.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't just hop on one. It's like, oh, I can just do this naturally.
Well, there's also I forget his name. Stilgar. Stygar, Javier Bardem's character.
Oh, okay.
So he's still there, and then his mom is being a ex Bene Gesserit or current Bene Gesserit, whatever. She knows the weirding way, which we saw her like fucking do some fucking kicks and flips and shit like that. So he's gonna learn that, and I think they're gonna teach that to the Fremen, and that's when they're gonna
combination,
be the ultra ninja warriors kind of thing.
That was kind of cool when they were popping out of the sand to fucking just murder these guys.
Oh yeah, they really built up the Fremen, which I think is cool. His still suits looked amazing, though. I will say that's one of the things from the original movie that like looked good.
Yeah,
and I think they took a lot of the same design elements from this one. Though when they're wearing the actual full-on mask, they definitely look like Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
I guess just
get over here.
Yeah, I mean, or I guess Smoke because they were in black.
That's true. Yeah, Noob Saibot.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought those looked really cool. I don't know if I'd really want to be drinking my own sweat and pee and tears and stuff.
It's filtered. It's fine.
Yeah, it's probably got to have a weird flavor.
I'm sure they take the water out of the doo-doo too. I mean, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, do you just shit your pants out in the desert?
Yeah, they never really said what happened to that waste.
Right.
That's what I want to know.
It compresses it into little like protein bars.
There we go.
Yeah.
Japanese did it. They made sewage burgers. Why not?
Did they?
Yeah.
Fucking Japanese.
They did.
You guys crazy.
And when they were selling it, it cost as much as a regular burger, so it never hit. Everyone's like, well, why would I buy a shit burger?
Yeah, why would I buy a shit burger for the same price? That's one thing with all of those like meal replacement alternatives. They're always more expensive than regular food.
They're either more expensive or there's no nutrients at all.
Yeah. It's cardboard. Eat it, please.
It's salt on it. It has flavor. It's fine.
That was one thing. Did you ever try that Soylent
green
meal replacement thing? It wasn't Soylent Green, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't made of people. I feel like if it was made of people, it would have tasted better. But yeah, it was this thing that this guy invented where he was like, I ate nothing but this for like 30 days and was fine. And I got all my nutrition and stuff like that. So it was like complete meal replacement. It wasn't no like low calorie shake. It was like every shake was like 800 calories or whatever it was.
No,
but
thanks.
it tastes like fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'd rather just have food.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you ever wonder what like freshly mixed concrete tastes like? Soylent.
No, thanks.
But I think they improved it, so who knows?
I mean, I guess if I'm dying of fucking starvation, I guess.
Yeah, I'd rather die. You know what? If this is all I have to look forward to, I'm good. But yeah, I think Dune, I think it's going to go down as one of those like cinematic masterpieces. And I'm glad that it seems like, at least so far, people are really reacting well to this, because I loved Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that was so great and it didn't get the respect it deserved.
Right.
I feel the same way about Doctor Sleep.
Yeah. And I think one thing with Blade Runner is, much like the original Blade Runner, which again, like didn't do incredibly well when it first came out, had like this cult following. I think it's really, really cerebral and it's hard for people to wrap their brains around. And even though Dune is kind of like that, I think they did a good job of making it a little more palatable to your, general blockbuster crowd. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait for the second one. I think it's going to be fucking awesome. And, man, I just want some freaking knife fighting, and I want some sandworms.
I will say I enjoyed that. I liked better that they made the floaty guy, the villain, not as like weird and goofy as he was.
Yeah, he's not as weird and gross. I mean, he's still kind of gross, but he's definitely more sinister.
I'm assuming after the gas poison, he's gonna get gross looking.
Yeah, he was already. Yeah.
But wasn't he trying to bang Sting in the original? There was definitely some weird.
There was definitely some connotations that he got up in there for sure. And he's like constantly waited on by like little boys and stuff. I don't like it. He's a space creep.
I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable.
I don't like it. He's gross. I think Alex Skarsgård did a tremendous job, and he's perfectly cast for that too. Which I'm sorry to say that, because that's not. It's not one of those guys. That's one of those roles you're like born to play, but he was born to play.
Well, the prosthetic suit looked great. It didn't look like bad.
Prosthetics. Yeah.
Well, no, he had like
he definitely.
He had like a Kingpin kind of build. Like when they showed him, like he wasn't just
he's not a big dude in real life.
No, but he looked like the suit made him look like buff, not just like he was just like
right
big guy. Like,
but he's definitely fat because he doesn't even walk. He just floats everywhere. But yeah, he was great. Dave Bautista was great. The enemy soldiers, I forget what their name is, but they all looked amazing. It was just really well. Oh, the Dragonfly helicopter ships.
Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
really cool. The one thing I don't get about that is they show on the Atreides planet that they have regular like spaceship type jet planes, right?
Doesn't work with the sand.
But like you pick like the worst style of aircraft for a planet made of sand. Can you imagine how crazy it is? How much sand gets kicked up every single time those things take off?
Well, it's mixed with spice, so you get to be high. So it was by design. They wanted to get high.
Blast space coke in your face.
Why not?
Ah, it's everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. People will be fucking spiced out of their minds all the time. Oh, I'm spicing so hard. I can't wait for that to come in number 2. That'd be amazing.
They never really said if there was a come down or
just
anything.
people doing fucking lines of spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, I can see the future. We gotta take down the Harkonnens. Let us know what you guys thought of Dune. Are you excited for number 2? And
hopefully we'll get a 3.
Hopefully we'll get a 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make Dune the next big franchise. I'm excited. If number 2 is as good, if not better than this first one, man, it's gonna be.
I'm gonna say that 2 is gonna be better because there's more action coming ahead.
Yeah, I think there will be, and I think we'll learn more about like the world of Dune. We'll hopefully meet like the Emperor, more Harkonnens, and more Fremens too. So hopefully we get to see that soon. Hopefully it's like 1 or 2 years away. Like if it's like 4 or 5 years, I'm gonna be fucking.
See, that's what sucks
bummed.
because I want it sooner, but that's gonna affect actually, the
Quality.
quality of it. So
Yes.
Sucks.
See what happens.
hopefully we get fucking COVID under control and we get it sooner.
Yeah, exactly. Just get like 1 million people working on it. That'd be great. But let us know what you think down in the comments. We do appreciate everyone who comments. Hopefully you guys are commenting on the old Halloween costume thing. Not really much comment. I think we asked people to send people
Pictures?
send us pictures of them dressed as Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. So hopefully we got some of those to look forward to. So
It goes out to the ladies too. Don't be shy.
yeah, don't be shy.
Instead of tucking back, just blow it out. Just try to,
Blow it out.
try to get something.
Blow it out and then tuck it back.
Yeah, there we go.
That's got to go all the way. But yeah, let us know what you thought of Dune, and if you let us know if you're excited to see the next one, and if you saw Black or Midnight Mass. I always want to call it Black Mass because of that Johnny Depp movie. But let us know if you saw Midnight Mass, what you thought of that as well. You can find all of our information at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And if you want to become a patron of the show, help support us in making this show that we do every single week, check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Thank you to all the patrons who already support us. We do appreciate you guys. You make the show possible. And that's why every week we lift your names up into the heavens or whatever.
Sky.
The spice must flow.
The spice.
The Moadib.
You're gonna kill people, dude. You gotta stop that. It's a killing.
I know, it's a killing word. Hopefully that didn't melt your brain or whatever. Christian, as always, pleasure, sir.
Yay.
Yes. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. The spice must flow.